How we doing, everybody? It's DommyGun Richie here. A little late with that button, huh? How's everybody today? DommyGun for Who-Bangin Sports Talk. We're back with some more picks today. Got some more games. We've got a pretty good card tonight. I know everybody's chomping at the bit for that one game. And, of course, I'll be covering that. Michigan at Michigan State. Well, Michigan State at Michigan. But anyhow, let's get going with today's picks. Quickly recap of yesterday. We gave out four just straight picks. We went 2-2 on those, and then we hit the what I call the parlay that the math guys weren't going to like, but it hit plus 138. Marshall and Lowell, UMass Lowell. Keep your eye on some of these teams now. There's some of these teams are playing back-to-back games. Some of these teams are playing back-to-back on the road. You might even see a third team on the road back-to-back. Some of them with 2 days in a row they're playing. Like Marshall, I think might be. I don't know if they're playing today, but they'll be playing tomorrow. That kind of thing. So just keep your eye out with scheduling. They're jamming these games in. There's not many games left before these conference tournaments start. So we'll see what happens. Let's get in it with today's show. First game I'm going to be on is Fairfield at Rider. I've been on a lot of these Rider games, with the totals and to give away the pick early on unders. And of course, I'm going to be on this under tonight in this game. Both these teams are really as slow versus slow if you think about it. And they both got average offenses. This is what the discrepancies. I don't know. I talk about the discrepancies every day. I try to look for a few right off the bat. The one I found with this one is Fairfield ranked 300th in possessions per game, so that's low. Rider's even worse than that. They're ranked 336th. Add to that, Fairfield is close to that same 300th ranking in points scored with same ranking in possessions. They're in points scored. They're ranked 300 in points scored. Riders ranked 294th in points scored. So these teams don't score much. These teams play slow. You never know with these unders. Sometimes the defenses cancel out each other, and these games go over. But more times than not, it's going to stay under. We always hope there's no overtime. That's for sure. But I think with this game, these teams know each other. They're not that really far apart, on paper, let's say. So, as far as the side was concerned, I really was going back and forth. But I do like this under 138.5. I got it minus 110. That's a 7 p.m. start at Rider in Lawrenceville, New Jersey. Next game I am on is 7 p.m. game. Marquette at Villanova. This is going to be a good matchup, this game. And I was going back and forth with the side. The point spread was only a point and a half or something like that. So, and to tell you the truth, Marquette is probably the better team on paper. They are 20-6. They are 11-4 in the Big East, where Villanova is for a second year not having their greatest year. 15-12 overall. They're like 500, I believe, dead 500 in the Big East, or maybe one game above 500. They're not, they haven't been playing Villanova ball that we were used to for a long time. But be that as it may, in this game, I kind of think what's going on with these teams offensively, they are definitely below average or below their expectations for the year. But defensively, these teams are, besides that they know each other and they play each other, these teams are good defensively. And that's where I come in this game, is the cap is really based on the defense. And like you've been hearing a lot from me, especially lately with these college games, I'm going under the total. 142.5. I got it at minus 109. Villanova's last two games went under, okay? Marquette, I believe, has gone under four out of the last 5 games. Here's what struck me. The last game that Villanova played, they only shot 60 points. They play slow. The last 2 games before that, they had 62. They had 59 points. They ranked over 350th in tempo. Marquette might be the better team, like I said, offensively, but on the defense, they are better. They're holding teams to 58 points, 56 points their last 2 games. So both these teams are holding teams to, 60 points or less, 65 points or less in a lot of their games. And Villanova has not been getting into that 70, 80 mark too much this year at all. So I like this under a lot. I think, like I said, as far as the side, I think it's a coin flip. So when I see a coin flip, I go to the total under 142.5 minus 109. Next game up, Kent State at Miami, Ohio, 8 p.m. Listen, Kent State is one of the best. Actually, they're number 2, so there's like one more team better than them. And holding teams down in their 3-point shots. They just hold teams down. Teams do not get their 3 points off against this Kent State D. Their 3-point defense is also above average overall, but on the road, it's very good. It's holding teams to hitting those threes under 27%. They're also one of the slowest teams in the nation. They're ranked, they're ranked 251st, so they didn't hit the 300s, but they're ranked 251st in possessions per game, and they're ranked 360th in their road shooting percentage from 3. Miami, Ohio, their defense has been holding teams to about 73 points. Their last 3 games all went under. I like this under 143.5 minus 117. I would take this game minus. I always do that. I would take this game under 140, maybe under 139.5. But at 143.5, I think we got a good number, minus 117. The another game I'm on, 8 p.m. Milwaukee at Youngstown State. I like this Milwaukee team. I would take them at even money or -1, but I did get them at +1.5, minus 108. Listen, Milwaukee is the best rebounding team in the nation. It's amazing, right? That's this Milwaukee team. Youngstown State's rebounding percentage, not close. They're ranked 228th. Add to that, they are ranked 226th in points per possession. That's Youngstown. Like in my opinion, the better team is Milwaukee, but they're both a little bit different in conference. Where they both play faster. Their tempo increases when they're playing in conference. They're both very good at the free throws. They're 1 and 2 at getting to the free throw line, and they make a lot of their free throws. Youngstown State is number 2 in pace in the Horizon League. Their last 5 home games have hit over the 160 mark. So they've been scoring some points, but I don't think they're going to keep up with this Milwaukee team. I think Milwaukee +1.5, minus 108 is where we're going to go with this game. And what I also like, and what I'm gonna do is look at this game live and see if it starts out a little slow, I could get a good number. I like the over in this game, and I kind of slept on it. Last night it was opened up at 149.5. I didn't take it. This morning it was 153.5. So I did not take that over. But like I was mentioning about Youngstown State, they're number 2 in pace in the Horizon 3. Their last 5 home games have went over 160 points. All the games at home, last 5, 160 or better. So, they're scoring and they're letting other teams score when they're at home. Milwaukee's last 2 and last 4 out of 5 went to the over. I like this over. If we can get a slow start, maybe get that number back down to the 149 or even a 148 or a 147, something like that. Unless you just see some kind of really, really strange opening, which you see sometimes. We see last night with Ohio State. That's one of the ones a win we had. We had the under in that game. Jesus, that game didn't even hit the 100 mark till about 7-8 minutes in the second left in the game. The first half was just brutal. Not if you had the under, but it was just brutal. I don't think it hit 55 points. I believe they scored in the first half. So Ohio State. So the reason why I mentioned that is because what I'm thinking about today is if we can get the slow start like that game, it was just crazy, and they weren't scoring. So you can't really take it over live like that because the numbers just weren't there. There was like 15 points scored in the first 5 minutes, things like that. But with this game tonight, if we get, that's what you got to look at with live, In this game tonight, if we could just get maybe a little bit of a slow start and where they're going back and forth, maybe missing a couple shots that just didn't fall, that once they get loosened up a little bit, they will. We grab an over number in about the 145, 146, 147 area. I think that's a definite play. So keep that in mind for a little something extra on this game, the over in that Youngstown game. But for the pick, I know I went a little round and round in that one, but for the pick itself, I took Milwaukee plus 1.5, minus 108. Let's get to the big game tonight. Michigan State at Michigan. Listen, this minus 3.5 for Michigan. I like Michigan tonight. Let's say it right out from the start. I did not like the 3.5 points. I see some money coming in on Michigan State. I see a 3 now. I seen this game money line open up at 155. I took the money line at minus 148. I think I might have jumped the gun a little early too, because I think money's going to come back on Michigan State more and more throughout the game. If it does, I might add another little half unit on Michigan. I like Michigan in this game. Listen, Michigan State, they're both playing really well. Michigan is on a 6-game win streak, which I don't like playing teams like that on streaks like that. They're kind of, you're always looking for that letdown spot, but this is not the kind of game that you're going to see a letdown spot. First of all, Michigan, who needed those last 6 games because they were just going back and forth for a while there in the middle of the season. I talked about it on Saturday when we had them over Ohio State. Michigan, like I said, playing better. The 7-footer finally got his feel, and he's been, blocking shots and shooting threes. And for a 7-footer shooting threes, that's a big plus. The reason why, Michigan State, they're off, like I talked about Michigan streak, but Michigan State is off of 2 really big wins. And can they do it again for a third time? I think that's tall order. Michigan State beat Purdue last time out. Big win for the program. A big win for, overall when you see a team beat Purdue. And also Illinois they beat. So now they got to go into Michigan, a team they know, a state rivalry, a home court that's really good, a team that averages 85-ish points a game. I think it's a tall order for them. I'll give just a couple little stats in this game. Last game on Saturday, we capped the same Michigan game, and not much has changed. Didn't change because that game was 86-83. They could have lost that game. Ohio State played a good game, but yesterday you could see the hangover in that one. Like I was saying, I don't think it's going to be a hangover for this team. But, before that game, Michigan was number 51st in tempo. It hasn't really moved. They were 38th in free throws. That hasn't moved. All the numbers from the last game kind of stayed the same in this game. What I like about Michigan State and this game is Michigan, but both of these teams are in the top 15, okay? The home court, to me, is going to be a big difference. Michigan is good at those late game shots, man. They seem to hold themselves together late in the game, and if they drain a couple of those shots late in the game, that could be the difference in this one. In my opinion, the Michigan turnover battle, they're better in the turnovers. Their 3-point shootings in the top 60, 65. I forget what the number was, but they're in the top in the 3-point shooting. They're a very good 2-point shooting team. The issue with Michigan, as we all know, is their 20% turnover rate. It's terrible, their turnover rate. 1 out of 5, that's pretty bad. But, if you look at the games where they had the highest turnovers, they were against really good defensive teams. And Michigan State is not that good defensive team. And they're not an aggressive team, so they don't really play that kind of defense where they're going after the ball. So I think that's going to help with Michigan cutting down their turnovers. They are, let's see, Michigan State number 354th defending the 3, and Michigan State can shoot the 3. I think a lot of those things, I think a lot of those little tangibles right there. Like I said, it's a very close game, but I think the little tangibles there really points to Michigan. Did I want to screw around with minus 3.5? No. Would I take them -2? Yes. Do I take minus 148 money lines a lot? No. But I am tonight. 8 p.m. Should be a good game. Big Ten. Listen, Michigan State wins this game. I'm not going to be surprised. But I do think Michigan is going to continue their win streak, get it to 7, and then we'll see what happens. We only got 5 to 6 games, maybe 4, 5, 6 games left before the conference tournament. This year, I'll tell you, yeah, there's Auburn. Yes, there's Duke. But these teams could all be beat. I think this run to the championship is a little bit more wide open. I think we're gonna have a really good March Madness as far as good games, good competition. I think there's a couple of good sneaker teams. I still like Florida. If I'm looking for the outside teams, yes, I love Auburn, yes, but we all do. But out of those outside teams, I do like Florida a lot. Duke, I'm not sold on. Duke, as good as they're playing, and they got that kid who's just, unbelievable player. They are in a bad ACC this year. Duke, that division really, that conference really, fell by the wayside. There's only a couple good teams in that division to begin with. So, who knows if this is Duke's record, especially in conference and stuff, is that a little bit fool's gold? We'll see. We'll see when they got to play some of these big time teams on the road in the conference tournament after the conference tournament in the March Madness tournament. I don't know if they're going to hold up that way. I'm not so sold on Duke. So that's just one of the teams. Iowa State, that great defense, they could make a run. They could be in the mix a little bit here, but we're going to get into all that, as the week or two goes by. Next thing we'll be concentrating is conference tournaments. So that's what I got for you today. Let me grab the sheet and see. There we go. The games. Let me go over them quickly again on what I took. I took Ryder under 138.5 minus 110. I took Miami, Ohio, under 143.5 minus 117. I took Milwaukee plus 1.5 minus 108. I took I said Ryder. I said Miami, Ohio. I said Milwaukee. I took Michigan at the minus 148 money line. And I took, there we go, Youngstown, Milwaukee plus 1.5. I mentioned, the Marquette Villanova game. That's the one I didn't mention. I took that one under, where are you, buddy? Under, but 142.5 minus 109. Sorry about that. I'm trying to get these videos out earlier and earlier. And as you can see, I am rushing through it. And the way I do things is still the old school way with the legal pads, writing it down, do my cap, and then rewrite it because that's the only way I can keep track. And I don't even do that great of a job at that. But anyhow, this is DommyGun Ricci. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Give us a like and subscribe. Hopefully, we will see you tomorrow. We have myself and DJ Big Boss, 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern time for the We Got Next show. That'd be myself and DJ Big Boss tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Hope to see you guys there. But until then, thank you for coming.